Welcome everyone to another episode of Retro Wrestling Reviews. Fredo Esparza here, and this week we look back at Mid-South Wrestling's May 13th, 1982 show. But before we get to the review, be sure to click that subscribe button. We'll have more wrestling show reviews as well as the Lucha World podcast and other content available on this channel. This episode of Mid-South Wrestling was taped on May 12th, 1982 at the Irish McNeil's Boys Club in Shreveport, Louisiana. Boyd Pierce was joined this week by Cowboy Bill Watts. Pierce told Watts about last week's incident with Ted DiBiase leaving the commentary desk and getting fined for it. Watts announced that the Junkyard Dog and Mr. Olympia won the Mid-South Tag Team titles from the Wild Samoans in Jackson, Mississippi on May 5th. First match of the show had the Grappler versus Kakoa Samoa. This was a short match but competitive, with Kakoa Samoa getting in some offense against the Grappler. The Grappler landed a knee drop on Kakoa Samoa's head, but it hurt him more than it did Kakoa Samoa. Clothesline off the ropes by the Grappler got him a 2 count. The Grappler got Kakoa Samoa in an armbar until Kakoa Samoa surprised him and took him down to the mat. Kakoa Samoa went for a corner splash, but the Grappler got out of the way and tossed him into the top turnbuckle. The Grappler grabbed Kakoa Samoa and took him down, shoulder first, into the mat for the pin. After the match, Kakoa Samoa grabbed his shoulder in pain. Winner of the match, the Grappler. Up next, we get the very first of the spotlight features on Precious Paul Ellering. For those of you not familiar with these on Mid-South Wrestling, they basically have Paul Ellering teaching kids how to do proper exercise and workouts, and they get weirder and weirder as they go on. This one wasn't as bad. I think it's the next one that is the one that everybody remembers, as far as being kind of like that weird type of it gave you a weird vibe from watching it, but this one was a little bit more it was more calm compared to the one that follows. Ellering was in the ring with Reeser Bowden and a bunch of kids. He made jokes about and was going to teach the kids how to work out. That was the one thing. The jokes were really went over the kids' heads. They weren't funny at all. He got all the kids to do sit-ups. He was joined by Buddy Landau and Jesse Barr, helping the kids out while they played Olivia Newton-John's Physical as the song of choice for this week's exercise segment. Paul Ellering then did his own version of sit-ups, putting some weights on his chest. Bowden said it was 130 pounds. He followed that up with having Jesse Barr do a top rope foot stomp on him. Then Buddy Landau followed that up, doing the same stomp to his midsection. Watts said next week's spotlight would have Paul Ellering teaching kids how to do push-ups. The second match on the show was the one-man gang with General Skandor Akbar versus Mr. Olympia. Mr. Olympia wanted Akbar out of the ring. They repeated that Mr. Olympia and the Junkyard Dog won the Mid-South Tag Team titles recently. Mr. Olympia got in a few shots at one-man gang, but they started exchanging punches. Mr. Olympia tried to go for the sleeper early, but one-man gang knocked him off his back. The one-man gang whipped Mr. Olympia into the ropes and slammed him. They continued to exchange forearms and punches. The one-man gang got an elbow on Mr. Olympia off the ropes. More forearms from the one-man gang, but Mr. Olympia continued to fight back. Mr. Olympia whipped the one-man gang into the corner and charged into the one-man gang. He got caught by a knee from the one-man gang. Gang knocked Mr. Olympia off him again. Mr. Olympia drop-kicked Gang and knocked him to the mat. He went for a pin, but the one-man gang kicked out. The one-man gang missed a corner splash, and again Mr. Olympia went for a sleeper hold. One-man gang knocked him off and went for his big splash, but Mr. Olympia moved out of the way. Mr. Olympia hit a dropkick off the top rope at the one-man gang, and that sent Gang to the outside. General Skandor Akbar went over to complain to the referee and protested that the one-man gang was thrown over the top rope. Mr. Olympia then attacked Akbar. The one-man gang then used this as a way to attack Mr. Olympia and splashed him for the pin. Winner of the match, the one-man gang. Third match on the show was Dick Murdoch versus Kim Duck, with General Skandor Akbar in his corner. Watts mentioned that Kim Duck wasn't part of Akbar's stable, but someone who came in to collect Akbar's bounty on Murdoch. Murdoch got Duck in a headlock, but they broke it due to being near the ropes. Duck got Murdoch in a wrist lock and pulled his hair to take Murdoch down. Murdoch with a nip up, but Duck kept him down again. The referee warned Murdoch about using his fist. Murdoch got a couple of elbows on Duck, but again he pulled Murdoch's hair to take him down again. Watts then mentioned that Steve Dr. Death Williams would be turning pro this summer. He praised Dr. Death. While Murdoch was trying to break out of the wristlock from Duck, Akbar decided to head over to Murdoch's duffel bag and pull out the trenching tool to attack Murdoch with it. He instead hit Duck. Murdoch then used the trenching tool and hit Duck with it and got the pin. Winner of the match, Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch. Next match was Mike Sharp versus Billy Starr. Billy Starr's nickname was the Star Child. Starr snuck in a punch into Iron Mike's midsection after an attempted clean break near the ropes. Sharp dominated the match with his size and power advantage. Iron Mike kept Starr down for a bit. Starr used his wits to trick Sharp into a test of strength and then kicking him. He then whipped Sharp into the corner and missed the corner splash. Sharp went to work on Starr's left arm, but Starr raked his eyes and got him with an elbow off the ropes. Starr then missed an elbow drop and Iron Mike slammed him into the corner turnbuckles. Sharp backdropped Starr and then caught him with a bear hug. Starr escaped and missed a clothesline off the ropes. Sharp then got Starr up in a reverse backbreaker and got the submission victory. Winner of the match, Mike Sharp. They then recapped last week's incident with Ted DiBiase leaving the commentary desk to help Ernie Ladd and Iron Mike Sharp. That was then followed by the tag match between Ted DiBiase and Ernie Ladd versus Bob Roop and the Assassin. Bob Roop tried to slam Ernie Ladd, but was unsuccessful, and instead Ladd slammed Roop. Roop tagged out and Assassin came in. He got in a few punches at Ladd's midsection, but Ladd snap-married him out of the corner. Roop and DiBiase got in the ring with DiBiase going after Roop's left arm. Roop sent DiBiase into the ropes and got him with a big knee. DiBiase was able to counter Roop and continue to work on his left arm. DiBiase and Ladd used some quick teamwork. Ladd bear-hugged Roop and slammed him into the corner. DiBiase came back in and the Assassin came in as well. DiBiase tried to get the Assassin in a Boston Crab. The Assassin escaped and DiBiase got him with a drop kick and tried for the Boston Crab again, only the Assassin was near his corner and tagged in Bob Roop. Ted DiBiase quickly went for the figure 4 leg lock on Bob Roop. Roop was struggling to turn the figure 4. Watts was shocked to see that DiBiase had figured out a way to stop the counter. The Assassin came in and attacked DiBiase. Ladd came in as well. Roop tried to get Ladd by his leg, but he got kicked away. All 4 men in the ring. Ladd kicked the Assassin off him, and the Assassin bumped into the referee, who went flying to the outside. DiBiase then power slammed Roop and went for the pin. The Assassin pulled DiBiase out of the ring and tried for a headbutt, but DiBiase blocked it. Ladd and Roop brawled inside the ring. The one-man gang ran out, and DiBiase and Ladd double-teamed gang. Ladd sent one-man gang to the outside with a shoulder tackle. The Assassin then ran into the ring. All 4 brawled again. The Assassin loaded up his boot and kicked DiBiase in the head. The Assassin pinned DiBiase as the referee came back into the ring and counted the pin. Ladd complained to the referee that Assassin had a loaded boot. Winners of the match, Bob Roop and the Assassin. Final match of the show was Buddy Landau versus the Turk. The Turk was making his return to Mid-South, who hadn't been in the territory for years. Landau got in a punch in on the Turk. Watts mentioned that he's not sure what happened in the previous match, but the loaded boot spot is known to be used by only one man, the grappler. He's not sure if it was the grappler wearing the Assassin's mask. The Turk got a big chop into Landau's throat and then stomped on him a few times. Landau got a crossbody block off the ropes on the Turk, got a 2 count. The Turk went back on the attack and slammed Landau. Atomic drop by Landau followed by an elbow drop for a near fall. The Turk got in a big forearm and then got a thumb into Landau's throat. Front face lock by the Turk on Landau. Landau whipped Turk out of the corner and got him in with a head scissors. Landau got a near fall with a sunset flip as the time was running out. The Turk got in a few punches at Landau. Landau cradled the Turk for another near fall. Small package by Landau as the TV time ran out. Winner of the match? No one. TV time limit, draw, as the show came to an end. I thought this show was a good show. I thought the tag match was the best match on the show with a good brawl mixed in and the confusion of whether the grappler was involved in helping Roop and the Assassin get the win. I also enjoyed the Mr. Olympia versus one-man gang match. Murdoch's feud with Akbar's army continued on the show with Akbar bringing in King Duck to attempt to collect the bounty, and it didn't work out for him. You also get to hear Bill Watts talk about Dr. Dusty Williams coming in during the summer. Even the standby match at the end with Landau and the Turk was pretty good. The Paul Ellering segment, like I said, was weird. There's a lot of 80s videos and segments that rewatching them now you realize were weird, back then you thought they were weird. I mean, it depends on what your age was at that time. Back then I was a kid, so honestly, to me it was just, somebody being playful with kids. That's basically all it was. Now that I look at it, it was even weirder. But it's very interesting to see how Watts was marking out for Dr. Death, Steve Williams, not only as a pro football player, but also as he's heading into his pro football career, but also as a potential professional wrestler. So this was a really good show, definitely worth checking out. That's it for this review. Be sure to subscribe to the Retro Wrestling YouTube channel, and we'll be back again soon with more reviews.